Thank you, Rod. We are ready for the Alberta Labor Day rematch at Commonwealth 5 days ago, settled by a last-second field goal. Now the 9-1 Stampeders vie for the sweep. The 6-5 Edmonton Eskimos looking for redemption at Commonwealth Stadium. The Stampeders won the toss. They want the football right away, and Hugh O'Neill's got it on the tee, expecting a crowd in the neighborhood of 40,000 on hand here at Commonwealth Stadium as Hugh O'Neill kicks it off. Troy Studemeyer back along with Terry Williams. It will be Studemeyer up over the 30-yard line, and he'll be dropped at the 35. Well, Bo Levi Mitchell did it again last week. Now 9-1 on the year and 10-3 in his career against the Edmonton Eskimos.
Closing in on 3,000 yards passing. Great touchdown to interception ratio for Bo Levi Mitchell, who hurt his knee on Labor Day. Be wearing a brace tonight. Practiced all week. Seems to be fine. He's good to go for the rematch.
Little bit of a verbal crossfire this week between some members of both teams. Jermaine Franklin will have more on that later today. Bo in the middle of that. Little sidearm toss. Trying to get it to Tavares Daniels. Incomplete. Adam Konar was there defensively.
Yeah, disappointing for the Calgary Stampeders to lose Kamar Jordan for the season. So Reggie Begelton will draw into the lineup because of the loss of Jordan, their leading receiver, and they lost Ucambre Williams at center during practice this week. So the sixth offensive lineman dressed for the last 4 weeks, Spencer Wilson, will play center here tonight.
Boy, his versatility amazing. Played all 5 offensive line positions last year. Second down, Mitchell steps up. He throws deep. Look for Lamar Durant, and out through everybody. Forrest Hightower back defensively for the Eskimos.
And the pushing and shoving in the Battle of Alberta begins in the first series. Helmets missing, more trash talking, a little pushing and shoving after that deep ball. Bo Levi Mitchell's going to push the ball deep. Both these quarterbacks here tonight will.
So Rob Maver. Jordan Robinson back pedals to the 20. That's a 54-yard punt. And Robinson tossed down by Tunde Adeleke on the cover team. And Mike Riley will lead the Eskimos out. 250 yards passing last week. Back-to-back 250-yard passing games. First time this year that he's gone 2 consecutive without a 300-yard game.
Yeah, but look at the totals. He's had 3 games this year over 400-yard passing and is the reigning MOP, but his kryptonite has been the Calgary Stampeders' 3-10 career against Calgary.
90th career start for Mike Riley. It begins at about the 30-yard line. He'll gun it downfield and misfires. Intended for Vidal Hazelton, and again, no Darrell Walker in this lineup today.
Yeah, they lose one of their top receivers as well. So Darrell Walker out. C.J. Gable also a late scratch. So we'll see Shaq Cooper, who played in the Montreal game a few weeks back. And Travis Bond up front is the biggest at 6'7", 356 of the biggest O-line in the CFL.
How about that left side? 706 pounds between Travis Bond and Matt O'Donnell. Field tilted, 2nd and 10. Throwing, got an open target. Jimmy Stafford's got it at midfield and doesn't want to go down. He'll finally get to the 45. Excuse me, Bryant Mitchell to catch it. It's Mitchell with 10 yards after the catch to fire up the Eskimo offense.
We're going to see a lot more of him. He's the wide receiver to the outside. It's Bryant Mitchell replacing Darrell Walker all the way on that crossing route. Mike Riley has lots of time. He kind of fades to his left side to buy that time. That big side of the O-line with Matt O'Donnell, Travis Bond, as you mentioned.
Wears all the Batman gear. He had a terrific game against Montreal. And now Shaq Cooper who slipped, and Hazelton make sure he doesn't get up.
Well, Micah Johnson against that offensive line. Jagarrett Davis, that'll be a great matchup to watch here tonight. 3 forced fumbles, which is tied for the league lead for number 4 in the D-line for Calgary. Alex Singleton is tied going into the week with Adam Bighill for defensive plays, number 2 in the CFL. No Ciante Evans at the corner. It'll be Tate Glover Wright playing that corner for Evans, who was injured on Labor Day.
Alex Singleton with 11 tackles last week. Season high. Here's Duke Williams. Deep ball. Got it. Down at the 2-yard line. Riley on the money to his favorite target and the league leader in receiving.
The league leader in receiving, and since Monday, one of the top players in the league in trash talking. Again, more on that as the game goes on, but a nice out and up or double move for Duke Williams. And somehow he got matched up on Tunde Adeleke, which is not something you'll see very often from Calgary.
42-yard strike. And Riley powers his way in. Touchdown behind Justin Sorensen and Travis Bond. And the Eskimos on their opening drive of the game hit Peter.
As tough as it is to win in that Labor Day game for Edmonton, boy, they often get off to a good start in the rematch, and certainly they've playing with just a little bit higher level of intensity in this first few minutes of this game than Calgary at this point.
9th touchdown of the year for Riley. John White on the convert. Hits that. 7-0 Eskimos. Big start. There was a 35-yard pass to Brian Mitchell, and then an even bigger shot to Duke Williams for 42 yards to set up an early Eskimo lead.
And taking a look at how Duke Williams right here got matched up on Tunde Adeleke. Well, that's because he's now in at the number 3 spot. So Adeleke right here is the guy who gets matched up with him, and he just runs a double move on Adeleke. Little out and up down the sideline, and away he goes. Great throw by Mike Riley to set up the touchdown. Clearing route by Kenny Stafford helped as well, but Duke Williams, good start for him.
5 plays, 80 yards, the touchdown drive. Stoudemire runs up onto this one, and he is met and nailed at the 32-yard line. So the starts have been better in the last few weeks for the Eskimos. It's been the second half, the question. But another Eskimo lead. Let's see how Bo Levi Mitchell responds.
Last week, 16 of 30 for 255, no interceptions, and 1 touchdown for Bo Levi Mitchell. Missed a couple of series because of a hyperextended knee.
Boy, it looked nasty when it happened. But he says he has felt no ill effects this week. Going to stretch it out, and he's on the way. Tavares Daniels is gone. Touchdown, 77 yards. Mitchell to Daniels, and that's how they respond.
Well, the answer was Tavares Daniels. How do you answer an Edmonton touchdown? Dial up number 89, and what a throw on the corner route from Bo Levi Mitchell. A little play action, holds J.C. Sherritt, and then the over the top of the shoulder throw to Tavares Daniels, who outruns the angle. A 77-yard TD throw for Bo, and the streak for games with a TD pass moved to 12.
7th touchdown of the year, moves inside into Kamar Jordan's spot and makes a huge impact. Had a touchdown last week, 7 catches on Labor Day, and a big one here, his biggest of the season. And the fireworks start early here in the Labor Day rematch. We're not 5 minutes in, and both teams with major scores.
Both these offensive coordinators getting favorable matchups on safeties, and this time it's the Calgary Stampeders' turn. You see number 3, the matchup 3 against 3 here in the man-to-man. It's end up Josh Woodman trying to cover DeVaris Daniels, and DeVaris Daniels running the corner gets in behind him. That's not the matchup that either defensive coordinator want to see. The safeties, who aren't normally covering man-to-man, covering the opposition's best receiver.
Robinson on the return, and he'll be stopped just short of the 30-yard line. So Daniels with his 7th touchdown catch of the season. Bo Levi Mitchell 77 yards passing on that one play. Mike Riley has 77 yards passing on 2 completions. And now we'd like to welcome viewers across the country. Most of you have been watching the finish of the Banjo Bowl. So the Tiger Cat sweep, the Riders sweep, the Calgary Stampeders trying to do likewise here. And we've had early fireworks. First possession touchdown by the Eskimos, answered by the Stampeders on a 1-play. Touchdown pass by Bo Levi Mitchell. Let's bring you right up to speed.
Well, first of all, in the very first series for Mike Riley, he goes deep down the sideline to Duke Williams, the leading receiver in the CFL, finishes that drive off. So 7-0 early for the Eskimos, and the very next throw for Bo Levi Mitchell, he gets DeVaris Daniels in behind coverage, and we are all tied up at 7.
2nd and 10 Edmonton, no CJ Gable today. Shaq Cooper releases from the backfield, but Riley taken down. James Fodders gets home and has a sack, a couple of Calgary sacks on Labor Day, and an early one here that will force the Edmonton kick team onto the field.
Excuse me, he is just next to Micah Johnson to his right, and there goes Fodders up and around Matt O'Donnell.
2nd sack of the season.
Been a long time coming. Hey, give me that shit.
So O'Neal to punt. Terry Williams awaits around the Calgary 45. Pressure on, and O'Neal just got it away. And a bounce. Williams slipped, and it got by him back to the 37. And he slips again. And the ball comes loose. And the Eskimos, do they get it or not? It is Edmonton football.
Wow.
That was a disaster from the get-go. Terry Williams, and Nataya Jay comes up with the ball.
Well, when you watch this replay, you just got to kind of think of the Benny Hill theme song in your mind as you're watching the turn of events in this one play. Almost blocked on the punt attempt, slipped on the return, picked up the football, dropped the football, slipped and fell, ball comes out, Edmonton recovers.
Adam Konar with the forced fumble here. And at the other end of the field, nearly a blocked punt by Calgary. Josh Woodman had a shot at it. Nataya Jay gets it, and the Eskimos in business at the Calgary 29.
That was an absolute adventure. Here's how it started. Almost blocked right here. Down the middle.
Adam Berger.
And then the fun began there.
So first down, Riley fakes the swing pass. He's got Duke Williams again. Touchdown! Just like that, a 29-yard touchdown from Riley to Duke Williams. We're in for a wild one.
Yeah, we are. Mike Riley completes this from deep in the pocket. And what I mean by that is it's collapsing around him. He is in a deep hole. You're going to lose sight of Mike Riley on this play. And he's not a small quarterback at 6'3", 230. But he throws it from that deep hole. A 29-yard touchdown toss to Duke Williams.
Ninth touchdown catch of the season for Williams. Second reception.
Stop playing.
71 yards already for Williams in this opening 6.5 minutes. Sean White provides the convert, and the Eskimos have their second 7-point lead of the first quarter.
Stop playing.
Well, how do you like it so far? Nothing but big plays, and Duke Williams in the middle of it. 14-7 Edmonton. Thank you, Rod. What a game it looks like it's going to be today. Eskimos scoring on their first 2 possessions. And a touchdown after the Calgary fumble on the punt return by Terry Williams.
Well, we've got 2 great quarterbacks. They still have lots of weapons, despite the fact they lost a couple with Kamar Jordan for Calgary, Darrell Walker for Edmonton. But leaning on 1 and 1A, and it's Duke Williams for Mike Riley, and it's DeVaris Daniels for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Mike Riley now with a touchdown pass in 14 consecutive games. Here's Williams trying to make amends. Up to the 34-yard line.
Brian Mitchell gets an assist on the touchdown because he's going to be that number 2 receiver that's going to clear out, and he allows for Duke Williams to kind of run that wiggle double move again and get down the rail. He's with these double moves, he's got time, and again, Mike Riley hangs in the pocket so he can take the time to set up his defensive backs and find that soft spot. So playing some team ball right now. Darrell Walker first to go over there and celebrate with Duke Williams.
Calgary's run 3 plays. They were 2 and out in their first possession. Second possession, a 77-yard touchdown pass.
Look out!
Look out! Intercepted! Run, Forrest, run! It's Forrest Hightower with the pick, his 3rd in 4 games.
You could just see it happening. Bo Levi Mitchell just a split second behind on the throw, and Forrest Hightower is there to take it the other way. Quick out here on the outside, and when you see the outrun, you watch Forrest Hightower, he sees it, he plants on it, breaks downhill, and undercuts Lamar Durant.
So a couple early takeaways for Edmonton halfway through this first quarter. Hightower with 3 interceptions in 5 games this season after starting the year on the injury list. In the red zone, a handoff to Shaq Cooper and a cut back into the traffic and dropped at the 12. Pickup of 2.
Well, they got away with it last week with a few turnovers, the Calgary Stampeders, but Dave Dickinson wants to end that. This team's been very good in that department. I mean, their giveaway takeaway is plus 15, 1st overall.
Uncharacteristic.
It really is. And you don't want to flirt with it because it's a stat that gets every team. You lose a turnover battle, you're often losing.
Winnipeg can vouch for that. 2nd and 8. Pass near the goal line, coming back for the football is Brian Mitchell. Forward progress will be the 2, and it's a 1st down.
Brian Mitchell, I'm sure, is pumped. I mean, he's got a chance here to pick up the slack for Darrell Walker and get targeted a bunch more. He's played sparingly throughout the season, had a big game against Montreal. 7 catches, 128 yards in that one. But
The
Darrell
ball will
Walker
be placed on the 4-yard line with a 1st down for Edmonton.
Darrell Walker was getting targeted about 7 times per game. So who picks up that slack? Maybe
Well,
Brian
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Back at the 4, which was where they had to be to get a 1st down, and apparently Andre Prue has given them the 1st down. This is the 2nd time today we've seen the video official respot the football to a correct spot. And it's 1st and goal from the 4. Play action, and the pass is an easy Hazelton. First touchdown of the year for Hazelton.
When you get inside the 5-yard line, this is the type of offense you're going to see. It's misdirection, it's picks and rubs, it's trying to get the defense to freeze, because it only takes a split-second freeze and someone's going to squirt open one side or the other. And this time it's Fidel Hazelton. He just flashes open to the left side of the formation, uncovered. Terrell Walker's getting selfies with every touchdown caught. His teammates on the sideline.
Biggest first quarter of the season for the Eskimos, who scored 17 first quarter points in the season opener against Winnipeg.
An injured Calgary Stampeder down here. I didn't see the number.
Mom, Pops, sis, man.
And 6 times this year, the Stamps have surrendered 20 points or fewer, and already that in the opening 9 minutes of this game. And it's the veteran Brandon Smith, the senior statesman of that Calgary defense.
Yeah, playing in his 7th Labor Day rematch.
So not a whole lot's gone right for Dave Dickinson's crew so far.
Not very often this Calgary team has to try and come back from a big deficit this early.
And the Labor Day game took its toll physically on both teams. We've mentioned Terrell Walker, C.J. Gable, Ucambre Williams out. Ciante Evans injured. Don Jackson unable to play in the rematch after starting last week. See what happened to Brandon.
Take a look. There's a play action. And here comes the rub. Bryant Mitchell. That's a flat out straight pick missed. You've got to make it as a receiver much more subtle than that, although that one completely missed, and that's why Brandon Smith was out. That was a straight pick. It wasn't called.
Convert from White is good. 21-7. Still over 5.5 minutes left. Little pass to Hazelton. To pay dirt for the Eskimos. Overcast day in Edmonton. Was raining when we arrived this morning, but not bad all in all. And the Eskimo fans who have showed up in large numbers enjoying this first quarter. Let's head to the sidelines. Here's Jermaine Franklin.
Thanks, EC. Well, the Eskimos truly believe they let a win slip through their fingers on Labor Day, and they were not shy about sharing those feelings during the week. Now, Duke Williams said that the Stampeders were, quote, just a regular team. C.J. Gable said despite their 9-1 record that they were not a super team, and they both went as far to say is that they gave that win away. And it doesn't take long for sound to travel down south. Bo Levi Mitchell decided to respond on his weekly radio show. He simply said that those comments were disrespectful. But when I spoke to Williams and C.J. Gable, they did not back down from those comments. Alex Singleton said if they're in the business of giving games away, they have no problems taking it. But I think it's safe to say after this Eskimo start, nothing will be given tonight.
Just another year in the Battle of Alberta. And we wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
No, absolutely not. That stuff's fun, and it gets the fans going. Maybe sells a couple more tickets too. Gets the players going sometimes, and that's okay. And it doesn't have anything to do with winning and losing. What you got to do to win and lose is what you do on the field.
And Mitchell's done that consistently against Edmonton, 10-3. Inside handoff, not going anywhere. Romar Morris dropped, and there's Kwaku Boateng. And Don Jackson unable to suit up for this game. an ankle sprain from the Labor Day game. And 2nd and 11. Stands in, open target, Lamar Durant, but out of bounds, incomplete. And the Stampeders will have to punt it away.
As Edmonton defense continues to improve, they're first in the league in sacks. They're sitting in 2nd in interceptions. But they've struggled a little against the run, and I bring that up because Don Jackson's not in the lineup for Calgary, and Don was one of the guys that was part of the trash talk and was into it in the Labor Day game. They're going with Romar Morris. Romar Morris has played a little bit, but
Jordan Robinson fielding the 51-yard Beaver punt and bumped out around the 29-yard line. Well, it was Calgary winning on that last 2nd field goal last week, and for Duke Williams, it was a tough bus ride back to Edmonton.
We was hurt. You know, we gave the game away in the 2nd half. We had 5 bad drives in a row, which has really caused us the game at the end of the day. So, you know, that hurt us, and we had to take that bus ride home with that L. So we had to think about that for 3 hours. And then we had to come back and watch film, so that hurt even more.
And in that stretch, 3 turnovers and a 9-play span on offense. Riley underneath, and Hazelton took his eyes off the ball.
yeah, well, when you take a look at Duke Williams, I mean, he's doing his part. 15 targets, 11 catches, over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And you know, when you lose a game anytime, it makes you physically ill. But when it's the rivalry game and it's the Labor Day game and you got to take that bus ride, that's real tough. You want that feeling to go away as quickly as possible. And Duke Williams has got a little jump to his step tonight.
Riley 2nd and 10. Look out! That one intercepted. It's Glover Wright with his first CFL interception, and that's a big play to get the Calgary Stampeders back in this football game.
Couple targets there to Vidal Hazelton, and both missed. I think he was the intended target here again. He was. He's running that deep curl. Coming back in the game, Brandon Smith gets a little piece of it and helps in the tip up in the air, and take Glover Wright back there in deep coverage. A little tip drill. That's why you practice it. Hustle to the ball and good things will happen.
So the Stamps in business. Eskimo 23, low shotgun snap. Fielded well by Mitchell, throws into the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Markin Michel. Aaron Grimes in the vicinity, but Michel in behind coverage.
Right in the corner, and it was placed by Bo Levi Mitchell. It was placed by Mitchell to, you know, put it where only Michel could get a shot at it. He didn't want Aaron Grimes, who's going to pick him up deep here. Dropped in his zone coverage. There's the deep coverage from Grimes. It's either Michel in the corner or no one gets it.
No catch for Michel last week. 2 targets in the Labor Day game. 2nd and 10. Here comes the Heat, led by J.C. Sherritt. They swing it out to Reggie Beggleton. Into the lineup in place of Kamar Jordan. And that's a big first down to the Edmonton 10.
Kamar Jordan led the CFL in big plays over 30 yards. 2nd in the CFL to Duke Williams in yards. That's what they're missing. So, you know, just like Brian Mitchell for Edmonton, Reggie Beggleton targeted more. He's got to be excited about that opportunity.
First and goal. Holmes steps up, throws incomplete. Looking for Daniels, and a flag is tossed. And Nick Taylor will dispute the call.
Not hard to see who the guilty party is, though, is it? He's saying it went both ways between he and Tavares Daniels.
Defensive pass interference. Edmonton, number 34, automatic first down at the 1 yard line.
What is 32?
Well, you know, he may have a bit of an argument here, Nick Taylor, because there's Tavares Daniels.
The ball will be placed at the 3 yard line. 3 yard line.
And if you can't jam as a defensive back past 5 yards, then you can't allow a receiver to try and run you over past 5 yards either. And I think that's what Nick Taylor is trying to argue there, is that, hey, listen, I was just holding my ground. He can't run over me. He's got to avoid me.
Nevertheless, is that enough for Jason Moss to use his one jab?
No, I wouldn't down there, no. Just like the pick on the other one, the Edmonton touchdown,
right.
Dave Dickinson shouldn't have used his challenge there, too. I agree with him not doing it.
First and goal at the 3. Morris left side. Touchdown. Romar Morris gets in. And the Stamps take advantage of their takeaway to get back in the game.
Yeah, you got to bet that the 9-1 Calgary Stampeders, when they're down 21-7, are basically saying, don't panic, don't worry, lots of time to play. Just stick with the game plan. Keep playing the way we've played all season long. Keep your cool on the sideline. That's why Dave Dickinson has the winning percentage he has, and Bo Levi has the winning percentage that he has. Best in the game.
So the Eskimos have 14 points off turnovers. And now the Stampeders have 7 points off turnovers. And it's a 7-point Edmonton lead and a 35-point first quarter.
Hey, Mama, I love you, baby.
Four plays after the right interception. 23 yards later, it's Romar Morris into the end zone.
You already know, baby. Let's get it.
And what a first quarter.
Big boys up front blocking down and opening it up here, right? Boateng is the guy at defensive end for the Edmonton Eskimos that could cause a problem. Stop it there. You see that block right there is the key block for Morris to get the corner. Derek Dennis turning that play, or that defensive end in Boateng, inside. A little help from the fullback, and away goes Morris to the cone.
Jordan Robinson on the return. And he'll be met just across the 20-yard line. And not going any further. Duke Williams, 2 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown here in this first quarter. And with 7 100-yard games already, threatening the Edmonton Eskimos single-season record.
He had a run there of 5 in a row, then a couple of games where he was below the 100 mark, and then back the last 2 over 100. So at 7 and closing in on some big names there.
When you have 2 receivers less alike than Brian Kelly and Duke Williams, size-wise, demeanor, Brian Kelly would never have been involved in any of the chirping, but the results on the field right now are quite similar, although Brian Kelly did it for a long and distinguished career.
Well, and I had to try and cover at times Brian Kelly, and believe me, he was so deceptive.
I was going to say, not to lay it all on you, but how did he always get so wide open?
Well, I'll give you a quick example at some point.
2nd and 7. Lots of time. Guns it over the middle and has a completion There's Kenny Stafford with the catch. Briefly a Calgary Stampeder back in 2013. 20-yard connection on the final play of a wild opening quarter. Mike Riley with 141 yards passing and a 21-14 Edmonton lead after 15 minutes.
To Brian Kelly because we have an injury. I'm playing for Saskatchewan at free safety. We have an injury at corner. I believe it was Terry Irvin was nicked and went down. I went and played corner, had to cover Brian Kelly. So it's cold game, and he has his hands in his hand warmer, and he steps off the line like it's a running play, like nothing's happening. So I kind of relax for a second. He takes off, and they hit him deep. I chased him about 10 yards behind him for 70 yards for a Brian Kelly touchdown. He tricked you. He could route run on you. Brian Kelly was as good as it got.
Welcome to the CFL moment, Rook.
Yeah, that wasn't fun in the film room afterwards.
First down Edmonton as we start the second quarter. A little shot inside, incomplete. Cooper unable to hang on, but it is a pass.
But good to see some offense here. I mean, Duke Williams off to a good start for Edmonton. Tavares Daniels, nice big catch, touchdown catch. Bo Levi Mitchell's got the one blemish, the interception, but got it to a one-possession game again. And when you're on the road, especially in this rematch for Calgary, keep it close, get into the fourth. That's the goal.
Second and 10, four-man rush. Riley to the wide side, and that's too much, too high for Bryant Mitchell. And the Eskimos punt team will come on.
But yeah, you're right. Different types of receivers. You got a big strider in Duke Williams, much smaller route runner in the great Brian Kelly.
Terry Williams is back along with Troy Studemeyer. This will be Studemeyer under it at the 23 and taken down at the 29. A flag comes down at the end of the play. Shaw Road to the Grey Cup continues next week, Friday Night Football. Special live mic broadcast. Get inside the huddle with the Lions and Alouettes. And catch the action 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific across the TSN network and in 4K. Good to hear that Travis Lulay okay after that hellacious hit last night. And looking forward to seeing Antonio Pittman once again. Been quite a story in the last few weeks.
Boy, Travis, very first series in that game, got poked in the eye badly, had to miss some snaps for that, then took that shot. Good to see that he was okay after the game, and hopefully he'll be fine for that game against Montreal.
A good look at Spencer Wilson, who played in his 100th CFL game last week. Celebrated on the field with family and friends afterwards. A little center screen here to Tavares Daniels, and Nick Taylor will get a clutch on him and guide him out of bounds.
Hey, your guy Spencer Wilson just made a great block, CC, and it's a block that's necessary on this type of play. Look at the big center right there. He's going to just make sure he not only blocks the man in front of him, grabs him, and then turns it inside so he can lead the way for Tavares Daniels and just cause some open area underneath that crossing route.
And now Romar Morris in behind Wilson. Out beyond the 30-yard line.
So bombs away, just get things started, and then things settle down and they get back to the run game. But you're right about the versatility of Spencer Wilson.
Really is something. Last year, a start at every position across the line. Disappointed when he was deemed to be the sixth man this year. But sometimes you're a victim of your own success. He's a valuable guy in any of those spots. Take the drop and over the middle. Ball popped loose. Is that a fumble? The Eskimos are on it. Kwaku Boateng. Daniels remains down. And this turnover will be reviewed, as all of them are. Did he have possession long enough?
Let's take a look, because he's on that slant route over the middle. Does he have possession, or is it incomplete? The Calgary bench was waving incomplete.
Aaron Grimes able to knock it loose.
But of course the Edmonton bench, the opposite. So it's just it's not necessarily a football move. That's a change in the National Football League that they've instituted, but that wording or verbiage is not in the rule book for the Canadian Football League. It's just a amount of time, and does he have possession of the ball? It doesn't have to be under his arm. It could be in both hands.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting call. It looked like he made a couple of strides, but hadn't secured the football, and Grimes knocked it out, and they're calling it a fumble and Eskimo ball. So that's the third turnover by the Stampeders in this first half. Team that came in plus 15. Fewest turnovers committed and the most takeaways coming into the game. And Cooper, a couple of cuts there. And runs it 5 yards to the 45.
Yeah, I'm going to chalk that one up as a takeaway, and that's caused by Aaron Grimes. That was a hit to knock the ball out of the hands of DeVaris Daniels. Sometimes it's sloppy play and a lack of concentration. An offensive player puts the ball on the turf, and that is a turnover and a mistake, a giveaway almost. But Aaron Grimes made the play on that last one. And he'll relax on the sideline.
Apparently that takeaway felt good. Whoa, over the middle.
Whoa. I'll tell you what, even the best ones get in trouble when they roll to their left and try and throw it back over the middle. And Jameer Thurman almost made Mike Riley pay here. When you're rolling this direction and you try to throw it back against the flow, you can get in trouble real quick. And watch Thurman cut underneath this and almost take this. He's just a second too late. And there was another DB for Calgary cutting underneath it.
John White out to attempt what would match his season long. He has hit on his last three from beyond 50. This from 52. And he is good. Just enough. Might not have made it from 53, but that doesn't matter. 24-14 Eskimos.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
Family Day here at Commonwealth Stadium. The Velez brothers really lit it up during the anthem, which we could have played the whole thing for you, because 9-year-old Zach is something, and his brothers Seth and Mark, pretty impressive too. And lots of kids here at Commonwealth for the Labor Day rematch.
Family Day here in Edmonton. Huge crowd on hand, tons of kids. And Zachary, who sang the anthem and nailed it, knocked it out of the park, who's been on the Ellen Show apparently.
Yeah, they've been on the Ellen Show. They're from Sherwood Park.
Knocked it out of the park at 9 years old. Young Zachary, nice job.
First down Calgary. They swing it to Lamar Durant. And he is taken down quickly. On the scene, Adam Konar and Nick Taylor. And Taylor with 10 tackles on Monday at McMahon. Loss on the play of about 3, so 2nd and 13 upcoming.
Improvements against the passing game, improvements in points allowed, improvements in sacks, and the pace for sacks, all for this Edmonton defense from this year to last.
like he had just overthrown Markin Michel, but the next layer was Begelton, and he made the catch, and it's a 28-yard Calgary pickup.
Yeah, by this time, when you get into the scramble rules, and the time to get rid of this ball was long gone. I mean, Bo Levi Mitchell took about twice the amount of time you normally do in the pocket. Looked like it was overthrown. There's Markin Michel, and he tries to get, there's a guy in behind him, but they're just scrambling to find an open part of the field. That's a 28-yard gain, a little bit lucky.
Second catch for Begelton, who, when not in the lineup, both Levi Mitchell said could start for any other team in the league. Here's Morris. And Romar Morris has another Calgary first down to the Eskimo 26.
Blitz coming from Bo Levi's left side, and when that happens now, he just has to throw it over this blitz. He has to find the throwing lane and throw it around the pressure coming, because the guys are free. See the two guys coming free off the edge, and he has to throw it over that rush. Now he's got some open room. Put it in the hands of his running back.
Mitchell 8 completions in this first half, but for 165 yards. First and 10. Lots of time again. Corner run for Begelton. He is on target.
Wow.
Inside the 5-yard line. Reggie Begelton brings it down.
Wow, we're watching a quarterback display now. I mean, Mike Riley in the first quarter. Bo Levi Mitchell, he's heating up. Nice little corner route here on the inside. But look at the accuracy on the throw. Man over the top is the safety, Josh Woodman. And he drops it in between the two Edmonton defenders.
Calgary always seems to have the next man up, and Begelton for Jordan has been solid in this first half. 9 games last year. This is second season with the Stamps. And on a handoff to Etienne Milanovic-Leiter, and that's not going very far.
I think Bo Levi Mitchell thought about pulling that one, and then he looked up and saw a defender facing him and thought, well, go to second down, regroup. But at this point, just inside the 5, you're really looking like it's basically a, watch Bo come out here, and then he takes a look, keep running at guys for a second, and stretches out. He takes a look, he sees a defender, and then the play goes with the football. But passing down now, really, unless they go draw.
A loss of a yard. Hope you're enjoying the CFL Super Saturday, the triple header. Here's Williams, and he won't get it. They stayed on the ground, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
A little surprised at that. And again, I go back, and with Don Jackson out, that's their starting tailback. A little surprised at the call from Dave Dickinson on second down and go for the run play to Williams.
If you're surprised at that, are you surprised the offense staying out here? 3rd down at the 3.
Yeah, I am. I'm taking the points, make sure it's a positive feeling coming off this drive, but we'll see if this gamble pays off.
They get the field goal to get within 7. They want more. Here we go. Mitchell cornered, and it's dropped. Daniels can't hang on. And it's a turnover on downs. And that's the 4th turnover of this first half. Well, it looked like it was the right decision. The ball right on target, but it's a drop and a turnover. Well, Tavares Daniels replaying that drop that takes points off the board for the Stampeders.
Well, they have the play here. I mean, they have the play, and it's set up. But this is the human element of football, and now they have the disappointment of the miss, the turnover, and no points. And that's why taking points, conventional wisdom says take the points, keep the momentum and the positive feeling.
The analytics guys say they backed them up, though. There's the answer to that. Duke Williams just got them out. And Duke Williams is down now. Darrell Walker last week, Kamar Jordan last week, and let's hope Duke Williams has not been added to that injury list of star receivers. Jalen Saunders on a play that he goes over 100 yards in the game. Let's see what happens.
Well, just a tremendous throw from Riley. Let's see what happens at the end of it. Adeleke with the attempt there, and just a hit from the outside.
Big hit by Roberson, who took out Darrell Walker last week with a clean hit. And now the other member of that Eskimo dynamic duo remains down and will step aside. Well, good to see Duke Williams up, and well, we first suspected it might be a knee injury. He is clutching his wrist as he goes to the sidelines.
Yeah, because he was hit low, and that's why he looked like he grabbed the back of his knee. But he was hit right on the thigh pad, and then coming off the field looked like he was favoring the wrist. We'll try and get a report from the sideline.
32-yard play, though, gets them out of the shadows of their goalposts, and hand off to Cooper up across the 40. Tackle made by Alex Singleton. And Cooper and Adeleke have words. Different kind of running back for Alex Singleton to deal with here today. Gable and Cooper, very different styles.
Yeah, Cooper is going to try and shake you in the hole, and C.J. Gable's much more physical, downhill type runner. My question is, can Cooper pass protect as well as Gable?
And he can. Hazelton on the slant with a first down catch in front of Emmanuel Davis.
Yeah, you're right about that. Not many can. C.J. Gable, one of the best in the business, if not the best, at pass protection for his quarterback, which is so important, because that extra guy, the running back, who has to pass protect and pick up a blitzer or a stunting D lineman, you better be on your game there. That's where guys run free and can put your quarterback on the ground in a hurry.
Calvin McCarty in the backfield, playing in his 10th Labor Day rematch, along with Cooper. McCarty will stand in to help out, and a deep pass, incomplete. Big shot for Kenny Stafford, and he couldn't track it down.
You know, Stafford, he let up a little on the route. He was around the 30-yard line, 25-yard line. He's the outside receiver here, right there, and watch, he's going down the field. He's going to slow down right about here, get into kind of a stride. Then he notices the ball's thrown to him, and he tries to accelerate to it. It ends up going right through his arms, right through the wickets.
Like he never really tracked it right. Man, a missed opportunity. Been kind of a anything you can do, I can do better first half between Mitchell and Riley, but Micah Johnson will haul Riley down that time. Boy. 7th sack of the year for the big man. He had one on Labor Day, and he gets Riley again.
That is just so tough to keep blocking him every single play, and then watch how tenacious he is after he makes a move, takes on the double team.
Edmonton is challenging the previous play for roughing the passer. They believe that there was face mask on the quarterback, so the play will be reviewed.
Okay.
Let's take another look at that.
Well, let's look at that, because it was right in front of Jason Moss on the Edmonton bench. I didn't see a face mask grab, but is there? Yeah.
That's the initial.
Well, is that enough? It hit the side of the face mask. I don't see. Well, does he get it here? No.
Not again. Was that first contact with the mask enough to impede Riley's progress?
Well, it definitely turns the head. Now, having said that, I don't think he doesn't grab it and pull it, but it does turn Riley's head. I mean, and At this point, Riley's a running back, not with the same protection he'd have as a pocket passer. Once the quarterback starts to run like that, he's basically considered a ball carrier. This would be an interesting call. I'm not sure. So the head twisting like that was probably enough. But an interesting call here because he didn't
After
grab
review, there was roughing the passer for face mask. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty enforced from the previous line of scrimmage. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Micah Johnson's not happy because, it was, from his perspective, so incidental, but it did turn Riley's head and pull his body. That was enough to draw the penalty and get Edmonton a first down.
And Jason Moss apparently does not want to give Calgary any chance of regaining some momentum in this half. He uses his challenge, wins it, and now it moves into Calgary territory to the Stamps 47. First down. Got some time, steps up, and throws complete. Stafford, another first down, bumped out by Glover Wright. But they're into scoring position here with 3:06. Time for one more play before the 3-minute warning.
The running ability of Mike Riley makes this play. And Riley's run for over 300 yards. And what it does when he takes off like that, the defense almost freezes. They react to come up and make the tackle on him. And that's what Jagger Davis did, who was dropping. And that left Stafford outflanking him on the outside.
7th play, and remember, this drive started at the Eskimo 3 after the turnover on downs. Play action fake. Hazelton put his head down and drives down to the 26-yard line. So the Eskimos have a 10-point lead and the football as we hit the 3-minute warning.
Examples why, including the touchdown from Mike Riley to Duke Williams. And in Winnipeg, the Riders beat the Bombers again. Winnipeg still with issues at quarterback. Back to Chris and Glenn.
Thank you, Rod. Another good day of CFL football. Duke Williams has gone to the room here, unfortunately, for Edmonton. 2nd and 5 for Mike Riley. 199 yards passing. Over 200 as he connects with McCarty. Ball was knocked loose and bounced back towards McCarty. Who's got it in that scrum? Looks like the Stampeders are on it. And it is Junior Turner who comes away with the football.
Well, no one has played in more Labor Day rematches than Calvin McCarty in this game tonight.
That was Falarin Orimalade who knocked it out.
Yeah, from behind. Actually deliberately punched the ball out. Offensive coordinators will work on that in practice.
Perfectly executed. And are they giving the Eskimos the football back? We saw
The ruling
Junior
on the field is the ball was on the ground. The Edmonton player recovered the football. A bunch of players went on top of him, and the ball was stripped after that. Edmonton's football, first down.
So once the Edmonton player got it, it didn't matter about the bunch of players afterwards
because he was down. Yeah, because once it's recovered,
well, let's see if we can see if an Edmonton player did get it first. Looked like a mad scramble, and did McCarty have it there? Are they ruling McCarty had it, and it's under McCarty?
Boy,
but does he have control?
I don't know how
Dave Dickinson would like a further explanation.
Timer, please reset the clock.
Well, the officials around that pile, someone had to have seen full possession. From the angle we showed, you couldn't see whether or not an Eskimo had possession down, but there had to be some official that saw it clearly recovered by one of the Edmonton Eskimos down there, who was then down, and it was stripped out of his hands after, according to Andre Proulx.
So the video official might be taking one more look, and that is why we have a delay. It was pretty clear Junior Turner had the ball when they unpiled, but again, the official...
Timer, please reset the clock to read 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 2:20.
Going to add a second to the clock. The officials believe that an Eskimo had it long enough and was down. Let's take one more look.
Yeah, because this look, if Calvin McCarty does not somehow get it in there, I don't know how another Edmonton Eskimo could possibly have got possession over Junior Turner there.
I think they thought McCarty got it back.
Yeah.
Sweet pass for Hazelton. Unable to grab that off his shoelaces, and Riley nicked as he gets up.
Sorry, Chris. Jagarrett Davis got up the field quickly there. That was the problem for Mr. Riley here. Jagarrett Davis, watch how quickly he flashes in Riley's face. Play the run, redirect, whacked him.
Eskimos second in the league in second down conversions. 7 for 11 in this first half. 2nd and 10. Here comes pressure. Riley sidestep one, but and then Brandon Smith wasn't. Big hit on Riley, and the flags fly. Alex Singleton arguing Calgary's case, but a lot of criticism for not protecting the quarterback last night.
Roughing the passer, Calgary number 28. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
You know, this is going to be called today. And Brandon Smith, obviously not that type of player, and I think he's going to argue that Riley was being pulled down at the time, and it changed the angle of the hit. But this is a hit that's going to get called today. And I don't like to use the term helmet to helmet, because helmet to helmet happens on every play. Brandon Smith just needed to be a little higher and hit with his face mask first.
11th play of the drive on a roll. McCarty to the end zone. Touchdown. In his 187th game, Calvin McCarty has his first touchdown of 2018.
Well, he had the scare on the fumble on the drive, but remember where this drive started, and remember the decision that Dave Dickinson made to not go for the field goal. Now, Dave Dickinson's won 37 games, only lost 7. So I say that with all due respect, but this is a 11-play, 107-yard drive for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Now, is he in? All scoring plays have to be reviewed. He rolls in. Was McCarty down before breaking the plane? And we will await that verdict. But again, that drive beginning at the Edmonton 3-yard line.
Just get the feeling from the body language from Dave Dickinson that he's going through his mind on the fumble. I'm still thinking, how did we walk away from the pile with the ball?
After review by the command center, the ball carrier was down with contact at the 1-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. It's going to be second down.
I think this is the right call too, because McCarty goes down, his knee touches, and his back goes across the line, but the ball doesn't. The ball is what's got to cross the goal line.
I still throw it on the highlight tape.
Yeah. Knee down there, his shoulder's over, but the ball is not.
Emmanuel Davis with the stop. 2nd and goal. Stamps digging in for a goal line stand. Riley straight ahead, and he's got another touchdown. 10th of the year from Mike Riley.
Well, the good news for Edmonton fans, they finish a long, long drive. Now 12 plays, 107 yards, over 4 minutes. Clearly Mike Riley crosses the goal line here from deep in their own territory. The bad news for Edmonton fans is they may have lost Duke Williams in the process. We'll see and get a further report on him after halftime.
Convert good, 31-14 Edmonton, 29 points off turnovers. Calgary's only allowed more than 30 twice this year. This the second time, and it's not even half time. They gave up 40 against Saskatchewan, and Dave Dickinson asking for a further clarification on the fumble that looked like it had been recovered by the Stampeders.
Yeah, I no question he's asking that. Like what? But it doesn't take away from 107 yards. I mean, and that's the risk of going for it, and just the letdown that your team feels if you don't get it. And when that ball was dropped by DeVaris Daniels, a good throw from Bo Levi Mitchell, but dropped, Edmonton goes 107 yards.
Riley with 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdowns rushing. I think this is an important 95 seconds here because we know what Bo Levi Mitchell can do. Calgary, you get the sense, needs a response before this half is done.
Yeah, even a field goal would help, just kind of slow it a little bit, get a little of that mojo back. Remember that drive by Riley, also the challenge from Jason Ross.
Hit the reverse, and Studemeyer corralled at the 25-yard line, so it didn't fool the kick cover team. So Mitchell with 86 seconds remaining in this first half will try and cut into what is a 21-point Edmonton lead.
Well, good to see him back and no ill effects from that knee injury. Who's the guy in the middle?
Who's that?
Who's that guy there?
Good to have the summer off, huh?
Full summer off. Although I don't want to say too much because you never know when you need a lawyer.
They need one after that. There's Romar Morris with a catch, close to a first down up at the 34-yard line.
You're right, Chris, though. This is important minute 20 here because, you know, Bo's got the tempo offense going, get into field goal range and try and get a little bit back, chip away.
Inside handoff, that's a first down as he gets up to the 40. It's not like this offense hasn't been moving.
No.
Bo Levi Mitchell close to 200 yards passing in this first half.
And it was the right call and the right play, just a mistake by DeVaris Daniels, which you say twice a year.
If it went the other way, it might be 24-17. And that pass incomplete, out of bounds was Markin Michel. He was not in full control as he stepped into enemy territory at the Edmonton bench.
It's the great sort of mental part of the game too, Chris, when DeVaris Daniels, I've been watching him run his routes. He's running them so hard right now from that slot back position on the short side because he wants to get a touch again to get rid of the memory and just get back in the flow and back in the groove.
3 for 104 and a touchdown as it's over the middle and Reggie Begelton's had a big first half. Woodman shaken up at the end of the play. But Begelton has his 4th catch, and he's got 95 yards.
Double clutched it there. Woodman's heading to the bench. And he may want to just kneel down and give Mike Benavides time to slow this momentum and make sure he's got the right substitution. He took the worst of that one. Looked like it was a shoulder.
Jordan Hoover's gone in at safety. And Mitchell lost the handle on that. Throws incomplete. Be 2nd and 10. And there's the Waterloo product in place of Woodman. Woodman, who played a prominent role last week. He seemed to be all around the football. A couple of missed opportunities for interceptions.
Yeah, Jordan Hoover looks a little like Thor. Out there with good hair.
Second and 10, some time. Michelle behind coverage. Got it. Home touchdown.
What a
Well,
move.
they have answered with 40 seconds remaining in the half. A 41-yard touchdown from Bo Levi Mitchell to Mark and Michelle.
Well, we've seen some route running and some quarterback play here tonight. This is a double move by Mark and Michelle. I saw it from the get-go, like off the snap of the ball, a double move on Mercy Maston. And he got in behind him, both found him, put it right between the 8 and the 0. And did he cross the plane? Foot inbounds, yes.
First catch of the game. I was just going to say after the bobble out of bounds that without Kamar Jordan, they probably need some production from Mark and Michelle, who didn't have a catch on Labor Day. His first catch, a big one here. Bo Levi Mitchell has passed for 267 yards in the first half, and he trails by 10.
Next man up in Calgary is unbelievable. Watch this move and route running by Mark and Michelle. Little stutter step there, freezes Mercy Maston. He's got him by 3-4 yards in behind. Right now, Jock Climbing's back in the studio with Milt going, yeah, that's how it is done. And Davis Sanchez and, Got to let that one go. Got to move on, let that one go.
Great two quarterbacks have given a lot of DBs nightmares. 6 plays, 84 yards in what we suggested might be an important drive for the Calgary Stampeders.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking field goal, and Bo Levi Mitchell had other thoughts. He's saying, let's take it to the house. We got time.
Nice gesture there by Michelle. Shutout for his fallen teammate, Kamar Jordan. We want to wish Jordan well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a terrible break for him.
He know it. He know it.
A severe knee injury on a season where he was on his way to being one of the best in the CFL.
He'll be back.
Yes, he will. In fact, 3 of the top 6 receivers in the league going down with injuries. Jalen Saunders has been outstanding. Jordan, Darrell Walker all going down in rapid fire, and of course Manny Arsenault as well.
So Davis, you saw the guys again coming up at halftime. Davis, we need some DB play in the second half here. These quarterbacks are tearing it up right now. 219 yards, 2 touchdowns for Mike Riley. Calgary and that offense turned it over a couple times, but they're also throwing touchdowns of their own.
Quarterbacks have combined for close to 500 yards first half, and they're still throwing. Catch made underneath by Bryant Mitchell for 5.
And get back quickly to those injuries you just talked about, Chris. They, and I honestly, we hope the best for all those guys, and I believe they'll all be back, and they'll continue with their careers. But they all got their opportunity probably because somebody went down, got a chance in camp or wherever it was.
Look at this, going deep again, and broken up by Roberson.
There's some defensive back play.
His grandfather was, well, all CFL here in Edmonton on the greatest Canadian Football League team, Larry Highbaugh, and now Trey Roberson patrolling the corner for the other guys.
Nice job high pointing the ball when it's coming down, and Bryant Mitchell does a pretty nice job. He's up there too. They're battling for it. The receivers and quarterbacks have won the first half, and Roberson saying, well, I'm going to make a play and maybe take some momentum in for the defenses.
Bigger guy than his grandpa was. Not sure he's as fast. Not many were faster than Larry Highbaugh. Terry Williams a little bobble, but now he's on his way. 55-yard punt and a Quick stop on the tackle by Tanner Green. Newcomer out of Concordia. Nice ISO of Tanner Green on punt cover.
Get down, stay in your lane, and then break to the football. Head on the right side. Nice home field tackle. That's where you get your start. Covering those kicks, kick return, blocking for guys, and you get your chance to play on the offense or defense. You step up and make plays, but you earn your stripes on the teams.
1 second remaining, and the Stamps aren't going to throw deep, so that's going to do it. Just 52 points in the first half. Mitchell 267 yards, Riley 224, Wild and Woolley. And we're just talking about the panel. Here's Rod.
Heat at the half. Here's Milt with the stats.
Yeah, what a first half. What is that, 52 combined total points? And what about these two super quarterbacks? They're totally tearing up. The one thing that stands out to me are the turnovers. Calgary has turned over the ball too many times, and Edmonton has took full advantage of it. Mike Riley having another spectacular half. 2 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns.
And here's Riley now with Jermaine Franklin.
Well, Mike, it was an incredible first quarter and a great first half for your team, 31 points. Can you talk a little bit about the answer that you guys have had so far after the Labor Day loss?
Oh, we just got to come out and keep executing, man. I mean, we played pretty good football. Protection been good. Guys have been making plays. But it's a battle. I mean, 31-21. This is, we may as well point it 0-0 coming out of the half. We got to play a great second half if we want to win this game.
Not all great news. How concerning is it that Duke had to go to the room?
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, we lost Terrell last week, lost Duke. You know, the second quarter he made a great play, but you know, our guys got to step in. That's the name of football. You lose 2 really good players. 2 really good players going to step in and fill the void.
You mentioned the battle that it is. What is the expectation of the offense in the second half?
Come back out and do the same thing in the second half we did in the first half. Obviously, we're capable of it, but it's not going to come easy. That's a damn good defense that we're playing against. They're going to make us earn everything we have, and you know, we got to put up more points if we want to win this game.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Mike Riley and the Eskimos, they started quickly. Duke Williams having a big game and then got hurt. He's out. Other players to step up, like Mitchell, Stafford, Bedell Hazelton too. Second half coming up on TSN.
Dave, 3rd and goal on the 3. Can you take us through your decision to go for that?
Well, I mean, you look at it, it's a high-scoring game. I feel like I'm always going to stay aggressive. I thought we left something out there. Certainly was hoping that we could pin them down. Didn't work out. I'd do it again.
4 turnovers for your team in that first half, but the game is still within striking distance. What was the message in the locker room?
Well, we took some haymakers, and they made a lot of good plays. We're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, which is typical when we're not playing as well as we want. But we're battling. Got a lot of love for this team. We'll keep battling, see if we can win.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
What do you think, Glenn? First to 50 wins today?
Yeah, you know, and it was interesting, though, his discussion on the decision to go for it on 3rd and 3, and that with the score the way it was, with the first half the way it was, these 2 quarterbacks putting up big numbers, that worked into his decision, and that he would do it again.
512 yards of offense combined in the first half. This is great news for the Eskimos. Duke Williams is back on the sidelines. Got some padding on the left shoulder, but looks like he is intending to return. Talked about all those injured star receivers. Eric Rogers another, but Rogers set to come back in the next week or 2, and the Eskimos look forward to that. Edmonton coming onto the field. It doesn't look like Williams is going to join them yet.
He's still testing it. He's got to make sure that he can reach to all the throws. Take a look again at what happened to him in the first half. Had a big first half, monster first half, over 100 yards. That hit from Roberson. Holding that shoulder, so he's got some tape underneath there, and he's trying to test out if the ball is low, high, and how he reacts to it.
Eskimos started the 33, a short pass complete, and Sam Shagir's got a catch. That's just his 3rd as an Edmonton Eskimo. gets 11 and a first down.
Interesting in halftime as well, Mike Riley saying that it's 0-0 as far as I'm concerned. When you're playing against a good team like this, it's 0-0 when you have a 10-point lead. That can evaporate quickly. So pedal to the metal for Edmonton.
7 different receiver deployed by Riley today. On that connection to Shakir, who's down. And now Nate Bahar, that'll be 8 different receivers as Bahar stretches out. Looks like he gets to the 49 and has 4. Rookie receiver that they'd like to get more involved in the offense.
Well, he tested it out, and Duke Williams is back at wide out to the wide side of the field. Well, he's going to play in the slot now, looks like, too. There he goes.
Back in his spot. 2nd and 6. See, they go right back to him. Over the middle, they do, and Duke's got it. Hits the deck in Calgary territory at the 40. First down, and he continues to put up numbers. 4th catch, 124 yards on the day.
You know, you get to, as he's right out on the outside here, you get to a point as a defensive backfield that if 81's out there, you better man him up, or if you're in a zone look, go ahead and take him when he gets into your zone. I mean, no question the favorite target for Mike Riley tonight.
61 catches on the year. First down, Cooper, and the speedster spins off, first contact, and down it goes to the 22-yard line. Terrific run for Shaq Cooper, an 18-yard romp.
A little misdirection here. You got a lot of action coming this way, and then they come back around this way, and then Cooper out the opposite direction.
Well, you know, the Eskimos focused right now on this opening drive of the second half. They have scored only 6 points in the second half of the last 3 games combined. And Ryan Mitchell a catch on first down. There's Roberson again, that physical corner.
He really is. I mean, and I'm not just talking about the unlucky injuries, Darrell Walker, Duke Williams on that hit, but this guy steps up and he delivers. I mean, he's stepping into these hits at a very low angle, getting that leverage and driving into receivers. He doesn't just tackle you, he goes through you.
Eskimos have called a timeout. Well, that was the case. He was downhill on Darrell Walker last week.
Yeah.
That was a punishing tackle. Nothing illegal or dirty about it either.
No, that's what I mean. It's just a good, solid, like sometimes, you're trying to catch a guy and pull him down, afraid that you'll miss. There's the hit on Darrell Walker, but he's driving through players. Watch him come up and not just make a tackle, but knock him backwards. Again, clean hit on the midsection. The ones we've seen tonight, same thing.
So 2nd and 5. And they're 3 for 3 in the red zone so far, and they keep this. No, Williams can't hang on as Glover right over the top, jarred it loose.
Yeah, I know they're going field goal team. A little slow to get up. He's clearly protecting the injury as well, because we saw him on that first catch and the first play back. He went down when he saw contact coming. And I'm wondering how much grip strength he has trying to fight through this injury.
So Sean White's on. Two for 3 on Labor Day. Hit the big one early in this game. And from 23 out, he is good. And it's 34-21 for the Eskimos. But Boley by Mitchell's had a hot hand, and we know he can lead Calgary back. He's done it in the past. 2 touchdown passes in the first half for Boley. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
No open road for Romar Morris.
Flat out speed. Can't coach it. Just hand him the ball and let him outrun the defense. Good blocking at the point of attack. You got to get to that second level to use your speed as a tailback, and J.C. Sherritt gets picked up and blocked. When he gets blocked, Romar Morris does the rest. And the entire Edmonton Eskimo secondary can see the nameplate. When you see the nameplate, you're in trouble.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
14 yards rushing in the first half. He rips off 75 on his first touch of the second half. And the Stamps get closer.
Brad Erdos out of SFU. Throw his tackle down, then step up at the point of attack right here at the top of your screen. Make the key block on J.C. Sherritt. Romar Morris off that block, takes it from there and uses his great speed. Aaron Grimes ran a 10.800 coming out of high school, and he ran away from Aaron Grimes.
Second longest rushing play in the league this year. Marcus Thigpen had an 80-yard touchdown run, and that's 2 one-play touchdown drives for Calgary in the game. A 77-yard touchdown pass in the first half. And the old line savors that one.
Oh, yeah. And
we fucking eating, man. We gonna eat.
you know when the tailback, you know, he knows who's taking care of him. There's Big Brad. Great block on J.C. Sherritt.
We apologize for the over-exuberance on the Calgary bench. Mike Riley wants to answer quickly, but incomplete. Glover Wright almost had his second interception of the game.
Well, that's the other thing is that we talked about the receivers hurt, but Ciante Evans is an all-star corner that Dave Dickinson has had to replace with Tate Glover Wright, and he's already made a big play in this game, almost had a second one there. And if you're not talking about a corner, it means he's playing well, and we haven't talked about him other than his big plays.
The passing yards dead even between these two quarterbacks right now. Riley trying to break that. He is on the money for Duke Williams again.
This is a great quarterback display.
Should we remind everybody we've got the battle of the last two most outstanding players?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at this window. You're going to see a tight window for Duke Williams. 3 defenders around 81, and they're all looking at each other going, how did 13 fit it in there?
Season high for Williams now at 147 yards on 5 grabs and a first down up at the 53-yard line. Take to Cooper, they'll swing it across. And here's Brian Mitchell getting blocks and cutting back. And then getting swarmed. Alex Singleton will knock him back along with Jameer Thurman.
We got lots of time in the third quarter, and Mike Riley pushing 300 yards. Bo Levi Mitchell not far off either. Brian Mitchell came in as if he was going to block and then bounced outside and became that swingman in the bubble screen.
Second and short, Dan Riley will sneak for a first down. Singleton over the top, but Riley moves the sticks. And Mike Riley just happens to be a fan favorite of Alex Singleton's sister, Ashley, who got to meet up with one of her favorite guys at the Labor Day Classic. That's what the CFL's all about, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Ashley doesn't miss any of the games. Obviously, her brother's her favorite player, but
second favorite is the guy he's playing against right now, trying to figure out how to stop him.
Although if he keeps this up, he might not be his favorite.
He's going to get in the bad books.
Pressure on here, steps up, and gets away. And Riley runs for a first down. Jameer Thurman hauls him down.
Well, you know, you're trying to cover down these receivers if you're Calgary, and then as soon as you do it finally on a play, and Mike Riley's got to pull it down, lost lane up front, and he takes advantage of that for a first down with his legs.
13 yards on that carry, 4 for 18 in the game, and a pair of touchdowns. Riley with 10 rushing touchdowns this season. And a quick hitter, complete to Stafford, and he gets tripped up by Glover Wright. But this Eskimo offense moving in the second half, scored on their first possession and on the move again.
Yeah, and this Calgary defense is top-ranked defense in the CFL. I mean, a defense that leads in takeaways, 31. They are second to Saskatchewan coming into this week in forced 2-and-outs. Devon Claybrook's group has been outstanding all season.
Just notice, Suits, that Edmonton's at 344 yards of offense, and more now with Riley sneaking for the first down. And that is now the most yardage against this Calgary defense this year. They gave up 344 in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's the top-ranked defense all season. Look at Alex Singleton over the top trying to get Riley before he gets started. Just misses him.
And Mike Riley over 300 once again. Seventh time this year, and the 40th time in his career at 307 and counting. On a roll. And those sidelines caught. And is he in? They're going to mark him at the 1. It will be reviewed. And the Eskimos knocking at the door again.
Nice offensive design here, first of all, let's just see if he does get down by contact. The knee does touch just before he goes in. Nice call by the official right on the spot. 19-yard gain, knee down, ball not across the plane, so officials got that right along the goal line there. But I love the play design to get Riley out and change the launch point.
Guess who's taking this? Touchdown. Third of the game. 11th of the season. And on 2 possessions in the third quarter, they scored back-to-back touchdowns and end the second half drought. And Dad likes it.
Hey, Mike Riley said with Jermaine at halftime, he basically said, we're 0-0 and you've got to keep scoring against this Calgary football team. They're that good and they have that much respect for them, even though it's the Battle of Alberta. And they're going hard. They're going lots of physicality out here tonight. But Riley understands he's got to match it. And he's been doing that. Omar Morris with a big run for a touchdown. He comes back and scores on the very next series.
Calgary one play, a 75-yard touchdown. The Eskimos answer. 8 plays, 80 yards, a touchdown. And Sean White with a convert. It's 41 on the board for the Eskimos. And back on top by 2 scores.
Take a look at the answer by Mike Riley after the Morris touchdown for Calgary. He goes to Duke Williams. He's got great change up and balance in his offensive game plan and play calling in this series, because they moved the launch point around. They got him out on the edge, throwing from outside. He took off and run for a first down a couple of times and then finished it with the pat Mike Riley quarterback sneak.
4th time the Eskimos have been over 40 points in a game this season. They're high 44 against Montreal. It's the most points scored against Calgary this year. The Eskimos look like they've been offside on that kickoff. Corey Jones with the tackle, and there is a flag on the play. We'll sort that out as we come back. look at what they've done in this game. The replacements, Begelton's been dangerous. Morris, a 75-yard touchdown. Take Glover right with the interception. And Spencer Wilson anchoring that offensive line. And with more on the veteran Wilson, here's Jermaine Franklin.
That's right, CC. 6 changes in all for the Stampeders, and one of the more significant ones was that center. Ucombre Williams, the Stampeders starting center, was not able to go tonight. And what makes it extra significant is the timing of it. He was healthy, Ucombre Williams, and he practiced throughout the week. But then again, he woke up on Friday morning with a swollen knee, putting Spencer Wilson into action. What makes it so significant is Wilson does take reps at the center position. However, he did not get an opportunity to play with the first team unit. So it even makes what he is accomplishing tonight that much more significant and special.
Again, playing in game 101 of his CFL career, which came right out of junior football. The Eskimos were offside on the kickoff, and that's why they re-kicked.
Well, you know, what Jermaine was talking about, too, with Spencer Wilson is you're going to the center spot. And, yeah, you've taken reps. You are the backup in a lot of positions if you're Spencer Wilson. So you're taking a few reps through the practice. But it's really significant and unbelievable the way he's playing, because think of the struggles for BC and Chris Reeves.
Say last night.
You know, they... And that's usually what happens when the backup, who has limited reps during the work week, is thrown into action at the last minute. You're going to have a bunch of sideways snaps and issues and things you got to work out. Not so tonight for Spencer Wilson. Good for him. Stepping in, be mentally focused and ready to step in when he gets the call.
Christoph Malumba-Shamanga shaken up on the play. Weak side linebacker, so Adam Konar will come back in at that spot. Those two rotate at that position for Mike Benavides. The most incredible season yet, as everyday heroes take on the race. The Amazing Race Canada Heroes Edition, Tuesday at 8, 9 Mountain on CTV. So the Ticats win today over Toronto and now grab a share of first place in the East. The Saskatchewan Roughriders defeat the Bombers in the Banjo Bowl and get to 7 wins. Edmonton trying to get to 7 wins here in the final game of our big CFL triple header rematch Saturday.
And BC last night to 4 wins. Not out of it. Nice to see Adam Konar coming in, but nice to see John Jennings step up and play well in relief of Travis Lula getting an opportunity.
And revealed after the game, Rolly Lamala played with a heavy heart. The passing of his father. That ball picked off. It looks like it is. It's intercepted by Mercy Maston, who has his first in the Canadian Football League and the 5th takeaway for the Eskimos on the night. Looked like Breskison slipped.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he went down. Juwan Breskison's running the out here. It's a timing throw, so Mitchell has to throw it on the break. If he doesn't, he's late on it, and he's thrown a pick when he was late on an out throw earlier in the game. You can't be late on this type of throw. It's got to be thrown on time. If your receiver goes down, you're in trouble, and that's a good catch by Maston. Get his arms underneath it as it's going to the turf.
Yeah, Merce. Hey, talk.
5 turnovers on the day for Calgary, something you rarely say. Just to finish the thought, we learned that Rolly Lamala's father passed away.
Yeah.
Played the game with a heavy heart. He got the lone game ball from the BC Lions last night, and our condolences to Rolly and family. And Mitchell on the hitch. And Mitchell down inside the 10. Maston with the interception, and now the offense wants to show no mercy.
Yeah, they are keeping the pedal to the metal here And watch Mitchell and the acceleration after he catches the football, outrunning all his blocks even, to getting up there and going to try and find contact rather than wait for it.
So back inside the 10, 1st and goal. Perfect in the red zone so far today. The number 1 red zone team. And Jack Cooper down to the 6.
A lot of people just wondering here in Edmonton about their Eskimos in this offense and the inconsistencies over the last couple of weeks. The loss to Calgary, you go back to the loss by a point to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Time when they scored just 24 points. Some questions swirling around. I mean, even Mike Riley in a couple of his interviews have said, you know, we got to get more consistent. Then they lose Darrell Walker and Duke Williams tonight. But boy, it's an explosion of offense.
2nd down. Ball in the end zone. Kenny Stafford, touchdown.
Great back shoulder. Back shoulder throw.
2nd touchdown of the year for Stafford. The 3rd touchdown pass of the evening for Mike Riley.
Well, that's the other thing they've done well tonight. When their defense has generated a turnover, Edmonton has put points on the board in the sudden change, and that's deliberately to the back shoulder of Kenny Stafford. Okay. They look fast, those shoes.
31 points off turnovers for the Eskimos on the night. And now it's 48-28.
Yeah, you get that sudden change and make a team pay for it with a big score. Watch the move here to the outside. Now it turns into a fade route, and that back shoulder throw means Roberson has to try and regroup. Try and get his weight back over his midsection so that he can come back to the football, and oftentimes the DB is a split second behind the receiver.
3 in the air, 3 on the ground for Mike Riley in the game.
Did you pick Riley or anyone on the Edmonton offense in your fantasy?
I was going to say there's a lot of fantasy guys saying I thought he was too expensive, but probably worth the price today. Here's Studemeyer on the return. Eskimos had 9 third-quarter plays last Monday. Calgary's had 2 in the third quarter today.
This is Stamps Football, and Stamps Football is whatever it takes. Get your tickets today at Stampeders.com.
Often made the drive up here and gone home happy. They'll need a huge fourth quarter for that trip back to Calgary to be a satisfying one today. 13 and a half minutes in. This is the 3rd play of the 3rd quarter, and it might be a big one. Oh, they miss Lamar Durant, who was uncovered at the Edmonton 45.
How did he get that uncovered? Let's take a look. He's on the outside. Looks like he just gets missed, like almost dropped, like he's not counted. Wait, well, there's the high corner. Oh, he's coming in to jump the curl. Coming in, thought he saw something. When you start to get some interceptions, you start to think, well, I'm going to just jump routes now. And Forrest Hightower almost got burnt because of it. Little grin there from Hightower going, but I got away with one there.
Well, a low snap that time. Mitchell able to scoop it. Ditch it out to Morris. First man missed, but on the move he stepped out of bounds. And it will be 3rd down.
Hightower is over there talking to Lamar Durant. And I guarantee you that conversation was he walked over to Durant and said, "Yeah, you got me." And I got lucky there. You got me. That's close too on the sideline. Wow. Morris staying in. Official right on the spot there.
I'm sure he didn't go over and say, "Whoop, we got the fade, and it's run." Tunde Adeleke could not hold on, and it's a 6th turnover for the Stampeders.
Well, it's, you know, when you're running fakes, when you're running fakes and you want to surprise the opposition, you don't make a personnel change. So Adeleke plays there in the punt cover team. You leave him in there so that it's not a beacon for the opposition. But now you're asking a DB to make a catch.
But the punter is on the money.
Yeah, not a bad throw. Well, a little bit behind him, but not a bad throw at all. Should have caught it for sure. Adeleke had to catch that. Would have moved the chains. He had first down territory, but
they came in plus 15, the Calgary Stampeders. They're minus 5 on the day. And the turnover ratio, Jordan Robinson on the backfield, a straight arm on Davis, and then gets bounced out of bounds.
You know, now Mike Riley, I mean, we got one more play before the quarter, and I know he wants to keep at it, but now is a chance to sort of grind it down. You know, get the run game going, work the clock. Helps your offensive linemen. They can drive off now. They don't have to pass protect quite as much. So Jason Moss can think of this 4th quarter as we go to the break here soon and say, okay, start grinding it, start working the clock, use the full 20 seconds.
Over 400 yards of offense. First team to do that against Calgary this year. That's it out to Hazelton. Davis takes him down, but that's enough for another first down for the Eskimos. They're in scoring position once again. Huge 3rd quarter for a team that has struggled in the 3rd quarter. Omar Morris gave Calgary life with that 75-yard rout. But 17 points for the Eskimos, 48-28 at 3/4 time. Well, turnover's a big story in this game. There were 4 by Calgary last week, and they were able to win, overcome those. But 6 today doesn't look like they'll be able to overcome that.
No, and over 30 points off those turnovers. And for Edmonton fans, anyone concerned about the offense and consistency and whether or not Mike Riley can put up the big numbers, well, he's at it again. He's 3 times this year coming into tonight over 400 yards passing. He's going to get there tonight. Now the question for Jason Moss is how long do you keep him in? And for Calgary, you're right. They just been turning the ball over in the last 2 games.
Second half scoring questions about the Eskimos answered with 17 points in that 3rd quarter. Kind of been a Murphy's Law game for Dave Dickinson's crew. Although a lot of good things have happened, but at times anything that could go wrong has in that turnover department. Big plays have kept Calgary hanging around a bit. Oh, he was surprised by this, and he fumbles the ball, and there's a turnover going back the other way. Mike Riley takes a hit, gives up the ball, and Alex Singleton has it for the Stampeders.
You know, up 20, this is a gutsy call with your MOP quarterback. I know when you're playing a 9-1 team, there's always that concern. There's a full quarter to play here, and don't let them even think they can come back and get close and come back in this game. That was a takeaway. Good hit.
And that was Trey Roberson again with a big hit.
That's what we do. Let's go!
They get one back.
Let's go!
Long field.
Garrett Davis doesn't think it's over.
Stampeders are not going to go quietly into the night. Mark and Michelle a catch, and we've mentioned a few times anything you can do, we can do as well. And now Calgary will try and drive from deep in their own zone like Edmonton did from their 3. in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, Calgary's been trying to fight from behind because Edmonton started this game with the first punch, and Calgary's counterpunched. And they got in trouble with the turnovers, turned into quick points. That's why we got a 20-point deficit. But we've seen a lot of counterpunching from Calgary.
And as Dave Dickinson said, there were a few haymakers in that first half.
Yeah.
Might get one here. Mitchell scrambling. Now he'll take off and beat first slide in first down territory. Won't see him run as much, especially with the knee brace, but he gets the job done there to move the chains.
Yeah, it looked good there. And just as far as physically, you know, being able to move, he hasn't had any issue in the pocket trying to, you know, subtly move to open up passing lanes. And boy, he's one of the best in the business at that, negotiating the pocket, even though he's wearing the brace on the knee. Hurt
breathing room now as they're out beyond the 15, and he throws a strike to Begelton, and Reggie Begelton over 100 yards. So the replacement for Kamar Jordan's come in and has got the job done.
Yeah, a couple more targets, obviously, for Begelton, and again, that's what I meant about, we're cheering for those guys that got hurt to come back, and Eric Rogers is pretty close. But in the meantime, one man's misfortune is another's opportunity, and Begelton's going to see the football a ton more over the next few weeks and taking full advantage of it.
Been their leading receiver today, 5 catches, 118. Mitchell over 300 on the day, and hand off to Morris this time. He gets stonewalled. That's Josh Woodman moving up from the safety spot to help slam the door.
Yeah, Woodman came off in that first half after a tackle downfield. Getting the signals from Mike Benavides, the defensive coordinator, on the sideline, and relaying them to the rest of the secondary.
2nd and 9. As time has Begelton, and Calgary back into Edmonton territory. Reggie Begelton moving the sticks.
There he is right there. 3 receiver to the wide side of the field. You count from the outside in, so the widest guy's number 1.
19 yards on his 6th catch of the game, and Morris will plow down to the 45-yard line. 5 for Romar Morris. And now 95 yards on the ground for Morris.
Gotta love the fight in the dog in Calgary on this drive alone. I mean, honestly, you're down by 20 in a very physical game. It'd be easy to kind of fold it and say, okay, we have to play another day.
And Durant up for that. Does he come down with it? They're going to rule a catch. Maston tried to knock him out of bounds before he got a foot down, but Lamar Durant has a 13-yard grab.
And we shouldn't be surprised that they're continuing to battle in this one, even though they're down by 20.
I was going to say, we've spent enough time with Bo Levi Mitchell to know he thinks he can still win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And so does Dave Dickinson, calling from the bench, calling the plays.
1st and 10. And Begelton can't reach that one and pay the price, courtesy J.C. Sherritt.
Well, after the 3rd attempt right over the middle, J.C. Sherritt decided to bail. He's been kind of watching Romar Morris, probably because of that big run he had a few series ago. But on that last play, after a couple throws in behind him, J.C. Sherritt just said, I'm going to bail out. He was about 30 yards deep on that drop.
I'd expect in this area of the field, Calgary's going to play 3-down football the rest of the way.
Yeah, I would think so.
2nd and 10 here. And going for Begelton again, and that one knocked away. Mercy Maston on the scene again. And it will be 3rd down.
Mercy Maston had the short zone, but he just read Bo Levi Mitchell, and he cuts under the corner route by Begelton.
Offense has been operating without DeMaris Daniels, and Bagleton become the prime target. Big Mike Moore digging in on 3rd and 10. Gets loud at Commonwealth. Pressure on, a slip, still alive. Open target, touchdown. How about that poise from Bo Levi Mitchell?
Wow, really incredible, amazing, really. He balanced himself with the ball in his hand. It was the ball on the turf where he put it down. He still had control there, but he uses the ball to help bounce himself back up. Was not touched by the looks of it.
Yeah, Alex Bazzi was reaching, but Mitchell was not contacted.
Boy, tough to tell from that. Bazzi was so close. Let's take a look from here.
Eskimos looking at the scoreboard, but...
Well, you know what? When you go back one more time, if you guys can, great. Now take one more look, because he might not have been down at all. I mean, the hand is okay. If the knee's not touching, he's not down whether he's touched or not.
And the convert is good. They're hanging around. And now it's the highest scoring game in the league this year at 48-35. 9 plays, they go 105 yards, and they're hanging around. Well, we called it Super Saturday, and what a finale. Been a good day. How about Brandon Beggs? 2 more touchdowns. Ticats win. Pick 6 was the order of the day in Winnipeg as the Rough Riders win the Banjo Bowl, and they sweep that back-to-back series. Edmonton trying to avoid a sweep here, and they have a 13-point lead. Mike Riley involved in 6 touchdowns. He scored 3. He's passed for 3. But they might need more points yet. They're going to get backed up here. Jordan Robinson stopped up by Studemeyer just beyond the 10-yard line.
Boy, Studemeyer played that real well and taking that momentum of the touchdown from Calgary. And they aren't going away. And great cover on the kick.
So Morris has 2 touchdowns in the game, 1 on that big run, and his first touchdown catch in the Canadian Football League here.
There's the slip. I don't think his knee was ever down, so the hand is fine to get your balance again. Good touchdown throw from Bo Levi Mitchell. Counter punt.
Okay, Mike Riley, you're up. Swinging here to Ryan Mitchell. And Emmanuel Davis can't bring him down. And a Jersey tackle there as Jamar Wall hangs on at the 20-yard line.
And that's an extended running play. So it tries to take care of the same thing. But that last touchdown from Bo Levi Mitchell is kept Mike Riley back in the game.
And that play to Mitchell means that these 2 teams now have combined for exactly 900 yards of offense. 734 passing. It's been fun watching because they keep going back and forth in the lead. Mitchell and Riley.
Substitution. Edmonton at 13 men in the formation. This is a 10-yard penalty. We're going to repeat 2nd down.
No, Calgary can get a quick 2 and out here right now with this field position. Get the ball back quickly here.
Landmark.
Just like that, it could be back to a 1-possession game. So let's.
That, by the way, is the 6th penalty of the game. So 2nd and 13. Riley in trouble, and Riley down. Dropped by a Rimolade. And now Calgary's going to get the football back in decent field position with a half of a quarter left to go.
Do you give up the 2 here because give up the 2, you're Jason Moss. I mean, your punter's going to be standing 10 yards back in the end zone.
second sack for Rimolade on the season. And it's the third for the Stampeders on the day.
Looks like Hugh O'Neill is getting set to kick this. Yeah, he is.
And they will kick it away. And they let it bounce, and that'll give some extra yards on the punt. And Terry Williams finally gets brought down on the Eskimo side of midfield, but a Rimolade sack of Mike Riley keeps Calgary in the game and in good field position when we come back. In the home of the 2018 Grey Cup will be at Commonwealth Stadium, and one of the festivities during the week will be the alumni luncheon, and they're going to have a terrific hot stove with at least 6 former Eskimo quarterbacks, including the great Tom Wilkinson. Matt Dunnigan's going to be there, Mike Riley, Jason Moss. They hope to have others, Bruce Lemmerman. Here's Bagleton, and he can't make the catch. Flag down on the play. 70 alumni members will be on hand for the luncheon. Blake Dermott will be the MC, and proceeds
Offside.
go to the alumni
Calgary,
fund.
number 89. That penalty's declined. Second down.
And speaking of the great Tom Wilkinson, Bo Levi Mitchell just passed him on the all-time list. And next up is Joe Kapp. And you know what happened the last time Joe Kapp went to one of those alumni luncheons?
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Wilkie there, 365 and counting for Bo Levi Mitchell tonight.
Second and 10. Swinging to the far side here, Prescott, and he gets cut down just short of the first down. Nick Taylor, the tackle. There is a flag in the Eskimo secondary.
It's going against Calgary. Lamar Durant, I believe, is going to be called with a holding down the field.
Holding. Calgary, number 1. A 10-yard penalty, and we'll repeat second down.
Holding, mugging, full ballroom dancing, possible two-step, wrestling match. Any one of those works on that penalty.
On second and 20. And the flag, this play doesn't get off.
But you know, this was, the defense did their job for Calgary. I mean, they had a chance here at around the 7.5-minute mark.
Procedure. Calgary, number 59. A 5-yard penalty. And we're going to repeat second down.
They get the first down. I mean, Edmonton punted from 10 yards deep in their end zone, but the punt hits the ground, so Terry Williams makes the first mistake. He gets under there. He saves 12, 15 yards. A couple penalties now. They're going backwards. Key point in the game.
The crowd here knows it's a key point in the game. Mitchell stepping up, carrying it downfield, jump ball, and intercepted. Aaron Grimes comes down with it. Second interception of the year, his 10th in the Canadian Football League. And it's 7 takeaways for Edmonton tonight.
The penalties and how far back Bo Levi Mitchell was the reason he tried to sling it deep.
6.5 minutes to go. Aaron Grimes brings it down. Edmonton football when we come back.
Mitchell obviously to push it deep. He had Romar Morris out of the backfield. Go ahead and run it, guys. I'll show you where Morris comes out. Here he comes out here. Stop it there. He gets outside here, and he's right here. And look at all the room in front of him. I mean, he may even get to the first down marker, but because it's second and 20, Bo took a peek at him and said, no, I got to take a shot at it. I'm going to just throw it up and hope my receiver can make a play.
Riley slinging the football. Incomplete. Roberson tight coverage against Bryant Mitchell. By the way, it's the first time this season that Mitchell has thrown more than one interception in a game. Came in with only 5.
Hey, man, shout out to West Seattle. Get my dogs in here, too. You see them?
Yeah, I know that.
Don't go to sleep too early. You might miss the party.
3 interceptions, 1 by Aaron Grimes, so 8. Now tossed by Mitchell on the season. Second and 10. Riley long out. Caught. There's Duke with another catch. And close to a first down. Emmanuel Davis there.
He's feeling every hit, too. Look at that left arm.
6th catch of the game for Williams, and it's going to be
timeout, Calgary.
Calgary's called timeout. It's going to be 3rd down and inches here, and a decision for Jason Moss.
Duke Williams is feeling it there. Close enough here.
Timer, please reset the clock to read 5 minutes and 43 seconds. 5 minutes and 43 seconds.
Well, Mike Riley will go ahead and run behind that massive offensive line. Another quarterback sneak to get the new set of downs, grinding some more clock away. Duke Williams, 157. We're just catching the last part of this game. 157 tonight.
And playing hurt. Good push. First down behind Sorensen. David Beard, the right guard. And the crowd here for the Labor Day rematch, always one of the biggest of the year. In fact, this is the biggest this season so far. 38,611 on hand at Commonwealth.
Since '89, Calgary swept the Series 10. They split 14. Edmonton swept it 5. So get the split.
Although the decision desk isn't ready quite yet. Big hit there across the middle. And McCurdy pops up.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. The decision desk has not given them the win just yet. But you take a look at, I've seen at times 3 scores in 3 minutes after the 3-minute warning. Jason Moss knows that.
And the script was being set up again with that great field position to start the last Calgary drive, but an interception right here. Trouble for Riley, and they get to him again. There's another sack. Vaughters gets home for the 2nd time on the day. So the defense trying to get it back as quickly as possible in Mitchell's hands.
Yeah, so defense again.
That
Chris,
was their last timeout.
They do their job. Now Dave Dickinson uses that timeout again.
Timer,
Wants to get him in before the 3-minute warning timeout.
4 minutes and 22 seconds.
But it's crucial now that Terry Williams catches this punt, or whomever they have back catches this punt in the air.
And it's Studemeyer back this time, maybe Dave Dickinson.
Yeah, exactly.
And Mark Killam didn't like that the last one rolled an extra 10, 15 yards?
Yeah,
what did you have
it was over 10 yards, and then it started sort of that. Then there was a penalty, and then another penalty, and the next thing they know, they were 2nd and 20.
But there is time. I mean, Calgary scored twice on one-play drives in this game.
Get up there and catch it. There you go.
Studemeyer fields it. Makes a move and gets to the 50 before he's tossed back. Maston downfield in a hurry. Podcast schedule. I know Edmonton fans are excited to watch Brandon Zylstra with the Vikings. Here's Mitchell. And that incomplete to Daniels, who's had a quiet second half.
Since the
3
drop.
catches, 104, and a touchdown in the first half.
Since the drop.
Yeah.
You know, on the 3rd down and 3 down on the goal line when Dave Dickinson decided to go for it. He dropped it in the end zone. It's been quiet since.
Mitchell's had 5 different receivers in the game. Riley has utilized 9. 2nd and 10. Going to the sidelines. Markin Michel's got a catch and a little bit more on a first down as he dives out with 3.5 to go.
Smart for Markin Michel here. First of all, yeah, spin out of this. You know, the ball's got to him in time so that he can make this move and get a few more yards, but then get out of bounds and stop it as quick as you can. 16 yards total and stop the clock.
In traffic, surrounded by Eskimos, and he comes up with the football. Had a terrific Labor Day, made some clutch catches. Dave Dickinson singled him out for some good work in that game, and well, this is a big catch here, and he knew he was going to get popped. 3-minute warning.
Get the most from a Capit truck cap with Thule tire steps and roof racks for your bike. Because life's an adventure, the Capit Bulldog truck cap. There's a Capit near you. Capit.
Why are my mutual fund fees so high, my returns so low, and yet you guys keep putting up record profits year after year?
You'll see the results in the end. It's a long-term game.
It's not a game. It's my retirement. It's my family's future.
It's amazing what you can get done before breakfast. Now that there's breakfast anytime at any Tim's.
Week 12 and 13 have been terrific. Here's what's coming up next week. Lions head to Montreal. That's our live mic game. Stampeders and Hamilton should be a beauty. Ottawa in Saskatchewan. 1st and 10. Mitchell trying to stoke this comeback, and he's got another connection. There's a catch for Davaris Daniels.
You know, I think Dave Dickinson, if he had his first choice here, he'd take shots at the end zone right now, because if he can get it in the end zone, looks like this is coming back.
To the face. Calgary number 59.
Wow.
10-yard penalty. We're going to repeat first down.
Another penalty against the right tackle, Randy Richards.
Well, that's a big one too, because it's not, you know, you've got to start to think ahead, and there he is right at the bottom here. Dave Dickinson wants to score as quickly as possible so he can kick it deep. If he doesn't score in the next play or two, he's going to have to go with the onside.
1st and 20. Over the middle. High. Daniels with it. It's the penalty yardage and a few more back as he is down to the 25. Only by Mitchell, 2nd time this season, and in his career over 400 yards passing. And the Stampeders over 500 yards of offense for the 3rd time this season. 2nd and 8. An open target. It is Bengalton again down inside the 10. But another flag down. Let's see what this one's all about on the near sideline.
Well, it's away from the play, so if it's against Edmonton, Calgary will take the play and decline the penalty.
Yeah, the signal against Edmonton. That illegal contact. we're in for a finish.
Well, they could still take a shot to the end zone and kick it deep if it's right now. I mean, it gets down to 2 or just below 2, and you're thinking
illegal
onside.
contact on the receiver, Edmonton number 32. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Nick Taylor flagged. Doesn't matter. Catch stands. First and goal inside the 10. So they survive the holding penalty at first and 20. Mitchell, end zone, and Daniels can't hang on.
Mitchell looking for Daniels in the end zone. It's incomplete. Second and goal.
Stops the clock immediately. What does Mike Benavides come with? Down in this end of the field, when you're inside the 10, you can expect blitz from the defense and man-to-man coverage. So I wouldn't be surprised if the hot hand Begelton or it's to DeVaris Daniels here trying to win the one-on-one matchup.
Second and goal. Foul caught. Touchdown. Romar Morris. Third touchdown of the game. His second touchdown catch with 2:16 to go.
Played off those receivers and came underneath on almost like a rub route to the left of your screen. Bo Levi Mitchell, one step, good throwing lane, drops it right to him.
And excuse me, Romar Morris with his 4th touchdown of the game. That's 2 and 2 for number 32. Having trouble with all the accounting here. It's a good thing our statistician Dave Boyer's right on the money, because we've got 90 points on the board and still time on the clock.
Take a look at that touchdown. Morris is going to cut underneath. J.C. Sherritt comes out to cover him, and then he gets just a little bit wide, so he loses outside leverage. See the clearing route right here, and now that cut backwards to get J.C. Sherritt back in position. He just can't cut through it.
8 plays, 60 yards. Bo Levi Mitchell, 4-touchdown game. Can the Calgary Stampeders turn the ball over 7 times and still win? Stay tuned.
Duke Williams, who is, as we've mentioned, is hurt, having trouble getting his arm up, moving his arm, is down to receive this in the onside kick attempt. Just have to be the last to touch it before it goes out of bounds.
You kicking deep or short here as the coach? 2:16.
Well, you're right on the bubble. You're right on the bubble here. Could still probably kick it
you've
deep.
used your timeouts.
Yeah, you're right.
But they're going to go deep. So they're counting on their defense. And their cover team, which has done a good job and does again. That's Richardson Danny down in a hurry. And the Eskimos haven't got much on their kick returns in this game.
So Dave Dickinson can't stop the clock again with the timeout.
The one thing,
late penalty flags now.
Flags flying, and this could be really costly.
Objectionable conduct. Objectionable conduct. Calgary number 37. This is a 10-yard penalty enforced from the end of the play and a first down Edmonton.
Now that's costly. Malik Harris gets flagged. 10 yards further up. Well, the Eskimos would love to grind it out. They have 79 rushing yards in the game. It has not been their strong suit tonight.
Can you run the ball when everyone knows you want to run the ball?
Try. Not on that. Quinton McManus into the game as a run stopper.
Man, nothing against Shaq Cooper. who's playing for C.J. Gable, but this is where C.J. Gable is missed. Big physical back to go and get 6 on first down. Take on a few hits and break some tackles and try and get a first down along the ground.
Well, they've been efficient tonight. 15 of 24 on second down conversions. None bigger than this.
Mike's going to throw.
Got to. And throws a strike. Clutch catch. Guess who?
One arm, but he's sticking with it. And another key catch.
7th catch, 173 yards. And Mike Riley at 397. Is that the last one he'll have to throw?
Money. Duke Williams can't run with his left arm. He's keeping it close to his body, basically protecting it.
Back in the hands of Cooper. Made the first man miss, and to the 53 has 5. The guy they'd love to hand it off to.
We hurt ourselves.
C.J. Gable watching from the sidelines.
Well, right now you're going to get it just under a minute if you get the stop. So 40 seconds, possibly, for both. Got to get the stop first.
Second and 6.
Blitz.
Quickly over the hands and knocked down. That's a big knockdown by Jagarrett Davis. What a season he's having.
He almost had it.
Yep. Had a couple of interceptions in the game against Winnipeg and a pick 6.
Jagarrett Davis almost cut the field in half for Bo Levi Mitchell here. And saved time on the clock. He's tied for his team league with 2 picks and a pick 6.
2
he didn't come up with that one. Sorry.
3 fumble recoveries this year. He's been a force. The interception would have been nice, but he does get the offense off the field, and now Hugh O'Neill to boot it. Stoudemire on the run, and O'Neill takes him out at the 12-yard line. Not much he can do about it. Great kick by O'Neill.
Yeah, it was money. It was a great kick.
There's a chance. And this guy can make the most of the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. There is time. I mean, you're talking about a handful of plays here, 6, 7 plays. He needs a big chunk in one of them. But he's been getting them. He's been getting Begelton over the middle. Now you can expect J.C. Sherritt and that linebacking core to drop way out of there and get as much depth as they can.
They have to fight the crowd. Does it off and ball's incomplete. Short hop Morris, 2nd and 10. 435 yards passing, career high a couple of weeks ago against Winnipeg, 452.
Kwaku Boateng has had a quiet evening. Does he step up?
And it all comes down to 3rd and 10 deep in their own territory.
See how deep Sherritt was? J.C. Sherritt underneath that throw, making it tough for Bo Levi Mitchell to get it in there. He's way back deep, trying to help out on that deep crossing route that in the last 8 minutes, Bo has been working a ton of. He's back there again.
Survives And big hit from J.C. Sherritt. The Stampeders have a fresh set of downs on that clutch 13-yard catch.
That keeps hope alive. Well, we've seen some unbelievable games in this rematch.
They wanted a headshot, but that was a perfect form tackle, 85 yards away from where they need to be. And it will be 2nd and 10.
Now you're down to 2, maybe 3. I think Bo at this point's got to take a shot and see if he can get a pass interference call or maybe win a jump ball.
They did that in the game against Hamilton last year when it looked like it was out of reach. Went deep, got the PI. Jumper Hightower incomplete. Intended for Mark and Michelle, and back into a 3rd and 10 with only 15 seconds remaining. Probably need that same kind of call, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. No question now, they're looking for penalty help, even if Calgary receiver catches it around midfield. If you're Edmonton in the secondary, you want to let them catch it almost in front of you and bring them down right there. The game should be maybe one last play.
Need 10 again. Mitchell on a roll. And now downfield for Durant. Got it again. And with 7 seconds left at the 42, they're in range to take a shot for the end zone.
And they are. One play left. If they're real efficient with a quick out, they can get 10 yards closer, or they can do what they just did, get Bo outside of the pressure. 43 yards away from where they need to be.
New career high for Mitchell, 491 passing yards. He has 4 touchdowns. He needs a 5th right here. Mitchell for the win. He'll launch it. Jump ball. And incomplete. Nearly a spectacular Brescison catch. But it's over. And the Eskimos hold on. That close to the miracle comeback.
I thought he had it. He was in a crowd, Brescison, and it looked like he had possession for a split second. It shot through the bottom there. You could see it come out.
How many Eskimos surrounding him to try and knock it out of there? There's 4, and it looks like Woodman or Maston. And if you're a Calgary fan, you might wonder, did he have it long enough? But he would have to survive with the football a little longer for this to be a touchdown, but it was that close.
It took the entire Edmonton secondary to get it out.
What a spectacular night that Nissan Titan player. The game brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Well, it was going to be the winning quarterback tonight. So whether it was that last Hail Mary by Bo Levi Mitchell, if that was a touchdown, it would have been Bo, but it was Mike Riley, 30 of 44, 397, 3 touchdowns. Well, what a display of offense we saw tonight. Outstanding.
Get lots of hype for Labor Day and the Labor Day rematch, but this one lived up to the billing and well beyond.
Golly, man.
Well, a 2-game losing streak comes to an end. They split the first 2. Respected rivals. as the Eskimos advance to 7-5, hand Calgary its second loss of the season. What a spectacular day we had here. Look forward to next week, and it kicks off with BC and Montreal, 48-42. So long from Commonwealth.